Hello. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream, another show, another video on the channel. Big ups to everybody that is tuned in nice and early. Big ups to Igal for the raid. Big up to you, my brother. It's always love as always. Big up to T as well, saying big up everyone. Make sure you're smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel. Make sure you're getting that done. Welcome back to another episode of Cold Hard Truths. Today, we got the main man. We got the main man in the building. I thought, you know what? I've been seeing Flawless recently, grinding. He's been interviewing hella people. You know what I mean? Hella big faces in the YouTube scene. So I was like, let me give him a break. Let me interview him for a bit. Let him just have to answer questions now. Yeah, he doesn't need to ask any more questions. He might ask me questions. Who knows? But we're gonna see where it's gonna go. But I thought, you know what? Let me bring him on. Flawless, welcome to the channel, my brother. I've been waiting to have you on for a minute, man.
Yeah, we have been trying to lock in for a minute and get me on the channel. So I appreciate it. It's good to be here, first and foremost. So big up for the invite. I'm looking forward to the show. Shout out to the chat as well, and big up Igal for the raid.
Yeah, big up to Wayne as well. Salute, my brother. Salute. And big up to Hellboy as well. As always, big up to you guys. Now, this is mainly going to be Man United based because I like to, when I bring somebody on, we focus mainly on their club and speak about, the issues and the good things that are happening in their club. And I wanted to start off with a question that I had seen people asking. And we're just going to start off with a bang, basically.
Yeah, no, that's what.
So, so Flawless.
Yeah.
Erik ten Hag. If he manages to get you top 4 this season, and he manages to get you a cup, the FA Cup, do you keep him for another season? That is the question. And also, when you answer that as well, I just want to get your overall thoughts as well on Ten Hag as a whole. I don't know if you want to start with that and then answer the question.
Yeah, well, it ties in. The answers mix anyway, so it's all good. In regards to if we finish top 4 and win the FA Cup, should we keep him? No, because getting top 4 and winning the FA Cup doesn't make me forget about the miserable season we've had in terms of results, in terms of team performances, in terms of individual performances, in terms of one of the most embarrassing Champions League campaigns I've ever seen. It's up there with one of the ones in the early 2000s with Fergie, where we finished bottom of the group with Benfica. So it was awful. So him winning the FA Cup wouldn't make me forget all about that. And Van Gaal, that happened. Van Gaal won the FA Cup and then was sacked. Top 4, I'd never celebrate, and it never should be celebrated. It's not a trophy, in my opinion. Manchester United being one of the best 4 teams in the country should just be mandatory. That shouldn't be celebrated. That should never be an aim. This is why I never, ever celebrate top 4. At the start of the season, never like, okay, let's finish in the top 4. Yes, Manchester United are nowhere near the level they once was. Nowhere near it. However, we spend enough to be in the top 4 comfortably. And the crazy part is, if we had a competent manager this season, we'd be in the top 4. Because we're still somehow close. I don't know how many points. It might be 7, 8 points. I know we're not a million miles away from being. It's not like we're 10, 15, 20 points away from top 4. And when you look at our performances and some of the daft points we've dropped in games, we would easily be there if the manager was just decent, not even good or great. So yeah, in regards to Ten Hag and his awful. And we've watched him crumble under the pressure this season, because last season did a great job. I was all for what Ten Hag was doing. I thought breath of fresh air, exceeded all my expectations. Yes, the football wasn't the best, but he was doing the best with what he had and made us a cohesive unit. We was defensively solid. Won a trophy, reached the FA Cup final, finished 3rd in the league. Cool. Was getting individual performances out of pretty much everybody at that point. But then this season, complete turnaround in regards to going away from that. I don't know why. I said this all during preseason. I said it during when I was at the bargaining stage on the 5 stages of grief in regards to when we was getting popped, when we was having such poor performances. Just go back to what you did last season. And the actual few times he's actually done that this season, we've actually looked okay again. This whole thing of conceding shots and all this 20 shots per game and all this nonsense. So yeah, Ten Hag's got to go. We're just watching him crumble under the pressure.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, I can't lie. I couldn't agree, and I asked the question because, trying to be a good host. I'm trying to cover
people may not know.
bases.
Yeah.
So I just want them to get your overall look on Ten Hag. Now, the next question where we go into this is when Ten Hag, let's say he gets sacked now, or they part ways. Who is the manager for you? Who are you looking at as the manager? And I know, obviously, listen, me and you, we're just YouTubers, bro. We're just fans. So it's not really our job to look for managers. But who's more like a preference for you, or what kind of style of play would you like to play, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and again, the fact that you mentioned style of play, it mixes in the two answers to this question. So just from a fan standpoint, and just from a content creator standpoint, my list, I've said, people have asked me this. I said my personal preference is Flick. I think he's got the best resume. I think he's got the best attributes in regards to this job. However, what I want them to do in the ideal world, this is Ineos, this is Ratcliffe, Omar Barada. Once we actually finally get a director of football, a technical director, head of scout, new recruitment team, everybody I just mentioned, plus anyone else who's of any position of power, needs to sit down and decide a style of play in regards to, okay, this is what Manchester United are going to play. And personally, I don't care what the style is. Do I have my preference? Yeah, would I prefer it to be more of an offensive style? Yes, because attacking style is now what wins you Premier Leagues. Like when you look at the last, probably since Conte, that's how long ago that we're talking. So you're saying pretty much the last 10 years, it's been all offensive teams who impose their style on you in games that win the Premier League title. So pick a style. So whether it's more offensive, whether it's tiki-taka, whether it's high pressing, whether it's counter-attacking, whatever the case may be, have a style. That's first and foremost. Then get the best manager for whatever that style is. And then we go from there. That's in an ideal world. And in regards to the manager, I've said it before, I don't want it to be a manager who is currently managing in the Premier League or a manager that has previously managed it. The only exception to that is Carlo Ancelotti. He's the only one. Don't bring me anyone who's managing here right now or is managed here. Bring me new, bring me fresh. Like, that's what I'm looking for.
You're trying to get like a fresh outlook on
a
new manager, something brand new.
Something brand new, man. New regime, it's new ownership. Bring in a new manager, get new everything, because everybody must go. Where to my guy Eddie, ACGI, anybody can get it. I want everybody gone, literally from the top all the way down to the bottom, like literally from the top of the club to the bottom of the club. I want everybody gone who's been here any years.
We're Flawless. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that because I got a nice little special thing at the end. You know what I mean? Cool. Who's gonna stay? Who's gonna go? But listen, there's plenty of players, bro. We're gonna get through it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
But cool. Speaking on the owners, and I want to come out and say something because I feel like Ineos as a whole coming into the club so far have done wonders in regards to taking the right path, taking the right steps in order to tackling the real issue, which, as always, through Man United fans, was up top. It was always the board. It was always the Glazers employing people who weren't footballing people, who weren't with the whole situation, and didn't have a full understanding. These guys are finance guys. They know how to make money for a club, but they don't know how to run a club in regards to bringing success. Do you know what I'm saying? So
fully,
I think they've definitely taken the right route into bringing Omar Barada. They've brought in Dan Edwards, I believe it is. From
He's not
Newcastle.
here. I think that one's I think that one's still. I think, is it Dan Ashworth? That one's still up in the air.
Dan Ashworth.
They're still trying to negotiate that. But I fully get what you're saying in regards to it was non-footballing people in these roles. Yes,
but they've brought them in, and I think one thing I want to say, or I want to ask you, is because I'll tell you my thought process on it first.
Yeah.
For the fact that they haven't got rid of Ten Hag is a good sign for me, and I'll explain why it's a good sign for
Oh.
me. The reason why it's a good sign for me that they haven't gotten rid of Ten Hag yet is because it shows we need to actually find the right person. They haven't just come in, we'll just get rid of manager. We need to just get someone in, and then we'll think about it while the interim's there. I feel like them leaving Ten Hag in that position and saying, okay, listen, you have until the end of the season. We're looking for somebody. I think he's been told we're looking for somebody to replace you, but you've got your job until the end of the season. I think that shows. I think that's a bit more better than them just getting rid of the manager. If you were in like a relegation battle, I could fully understand. Or if you were in Chelsea's position, I could fully understand. But right now, you're sitting in sixth, I believe, or fifth.
Sixth. Yeah,
sixth. So it's not really the worst place to be. But what are your thoughts on the whole ownership and Ineos coming in? Because it all happened. Obviously, I know you went. You might have gone through some sort of several stages of grief as well when Qatar said,
"Oh no, never," because I'm
weren't
smart.
coming.
I'm old enough and wise enough to not celebrate something like that before it's done. So I
Before it's
spoke
done,
on it in depth many a time. Qatar, yes, Sheikh Jassim, Qatar ownership. That's exactly what I wanted, without doubt, and simply because I liked what they was talking about. I liked the fact even more so it was 100% sale, and getting the Glazers out was the main thing. Even if they came in and did an okay job, that's much better because they actually cared about the footballing side of things. But there was never no Qatar flag in my bio. There was never me on stream in the whole attire. Bear in mind, I said this. I said if they take over, I've got the attire. I said I'll stream in the entire for the week. I've got the full gown thing. Still got it. I got the full gown thing, the head wrap, the black thing you put around the head wrap. I got the whole nine. I was ready. And I would have been super gassed if it happened. All right, it didn't happen. It fell through. I didn't want Ineos and Jim Ratcliffe simply because anybody who's willing to deal with the Glazers, knowing what they've done to the football club, I'm looking at with the side eye. If you truly want what's best for Manchester United, why are you willing to work with the people who have put the club in the state it's in? And Jim Ratcliffe has said this himself in regards to the interviews, in which he has spoken well in. That has surprised me. He spoke very well, but about how far behind Manchester United are. And that is majorly due to the Glazers, or you're willing to work with them. So they got the job 25%. Said you're on the clock. I'm already looking at you with the side eye as it is. Like I just mentioned, Jim Ratcliffe spoke very well in interviews. Surprised me when he spoke about we are behind Manchester City and Liverpool. That's who we're looking to catch up with. It will take more than a year, but we're looking at over 2-3 years to do so. We're not just looking to throw major money at it. The whole talk of improving facilities, a new stadium, new training ground, etc. Love all that. And the Omar Barada appointment was very shrewd. Very clever. Like there was it wasn't drawn out. Like the Dan Ashworth thing's been drawn out. Omar Barada, that was done quickly, swiftly. And it's someone who's the best in class at what he's done. He's worked very well at Manchester City. He's also been at Barcelona, been at those two clubs during successful periods. So it's a step in the right direction. But we are staircases away from where we need to be. Whole build, like we got so many more steps to go in regards to where Manchester United want to be. So yeah, with the new manager, I get what you're saying. They have to. I'm hoping they are identifying a new manager because I don't have any previous with them because they're new to say, all right, this is how they maneuver. So a manager's doing bad, you're gonna get time. Or a manager's not doing bad. I mean, a manager's doing bad, but they're not gonna get time because we don't know what they're like. So yeah, in regards to Ineos and Jim Ratcliffe. Do I personally believe anything changes? No, I don't think you can do too much with 25%, to be honest. It sounds great, what they've done and what they've promised, but this summer will reveal all. And if they don't get rid of Ten Hag, red flag right there. If you're a footballing person and you've watched Manchester United this season, you've now taken over and you're watching what's going on. Don't be fooled if we do win the FA Cup. Don't be fooled if we do finish top 4. Watch us. So all you have to do is open your eyes and watch us. You're there. They got front row seats to see how bad we are. Never mind the inner workings of the club.
Yeah, bro, I think because he goes to games,
Yes.
Like he goes to
He's there.
games. So Jim Radcliffe, he's there.
He's
Like
there.
he's watching these games. Omar Brada is there watching these games.
Huh?
So they definitely, if they do keep Ten Hag, then that's definitely another red flag. I do agree with you that the fact that they've gone into business with them, the only thing I can imagine is a reason why, or the only thing that would save them as a reason for why they've gone in with the Glazers is if there's a promise that they are eventually taking full ownership. If there's what after 1 year, we're taking more, I'm buying more, and then I'm buying
Yeah,
more,
we'll see.
and then eventually I'm going to take the whole lot off of you guys. So there needs to be something like that in place. If there's no process like that in place and they want to keep the Glazers there for years and years, that is a red flag in itself because these guys should be nowhere near a football club. They drain it
Nice.
of everything. They
Look at what they've
like
done.
I said it on the football terrace, bro. When I was on Terry's channel, big up Terry, by the way.
Big up the terrace.
I said it on Terry's channel. My club has been drained. Your club has been drained for commercial gain. These
Fair.
guys have drained your club for commercial gain and sacrificed the most important thing that Man United is known for, which is success at the top
Yeah.
flight, winning in Premier Leagues, they're winning FA Cups, winning League Cups, winning doubles, trebles. Like,
Yeah.
bro, you can't sacrifice that when the club is heritage, bro. You can't go out there and sacrifice what so many people have worked for, bro. Domestic success, European success. They have 3 Champions Leagues. They have 20 league titles, bro. This is not a small club that you're dealing with, and you've managed to strip all kind of success out of it at the end. I understand during their tenure, they were there during the Fergie days, but let's face it, Fergie was doing everything. If
Yeah,
we want
it
to
was
sit
him.
there and
Yeah,
be blunt, it was him
him
and
and
his
David, it
team.
was him. Yeah, him and David Gill.
Yeah,
And those
David
two
Gill.
leaving at the same time really hurt us because they left
That
at the exact same time. That
I
was the
think
killer.
that was like that was just slipping a bit of poison into the drink because it's slowly gonna kill the club now. Leaving them and leaving it to David Moyes, I think he was not experienced enough. Not
No,
experienced
terrible.
enough.
It was a terrible
I think
appointment. I was Moyes
that
out before. He's the only manager I've been manager out before he got the job because he just wasn't the guy. And everybody tried, and people tried to back it and say, "Oh, because Fergie picked him." It's like, no, Sir Alex Ferguson, my GOAT, 100%, best manager I've ever seen, best manager that's ever lived, in my opinion. However, he got that one wrong, and Moyes was never ever the guy. He was never, and fans seem reluctant to accept that certain managers. It's even now with Ten Hag, certain fans just can't accept that he's not good enough. He's not the guy. It's okay. We move on. Sack him and get the next. Or what if the next manager doesn't work? You sack him. What if the one after him doesn't work? You sack him until you find the right one. Like Manchester United have done in their entire history, is where managers haven't worked, they've been sacked. And then you move on and move on. Like all this emotional attachment, it's rubbish.
I think the only club that can the only club that you can really say we don't really sack managers, if I'm not even trying to be biased, is probably Arsenal, because we have the least amount of managers in our history that have been like
But
we've
you've
changed
still, but the
managers,
point is, you've
but
still
we
sacked
still
managers though.
sacked managers.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you're a top club, bro. You have to, like, the owners have to be like, okay, this guy has not worked out. I'm sorry, but for me, what I've seen from, and listen, Indian Guna, we'll get to your question for Flawless in just a second. What my thought process about, or what my opinion on Ten Hag is, I think he started off very well this first season. He looked like he was actually getting performances out of these players. He was making them fight for the badge, which I sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. But he was actually getting to properly fight for the badge. Like they were dying out there.
The players were extremely motivated. Last season, before every game, whether it doesn't matter who was injured, who we was playing against, if I fully believe we could win the game. There was never a time, even if we went 1-0 down in the game, 2-0 down in the game, I'm like, we're still in this, because just that sheer fight and that sheer will was there. Whereas this season, it's the complete opposite. And we've done a complete 180, 181. That's disappeared. And that's been one of my biggest issues as well. There you go. That's been one of my biggest issues as well. Like, is that lack of fight. I'll forgive lack of skill to an extent. I understand the team is not that
Yeah.
talented. That's not like, that's a whole different thing. And I spoke on that during preseason when people every day when we're talking about transfers and areas that we need to improve. But lack of will's not there. Only reason why we beat Liverpool in the FA Cup was because of that. That was sheer just effort. And if we perform like that the entire season, one, we'd be in a better situation, and two, I'd be just less irritated by not just Ten Hag but the entire squad. Because it's like, all right, we fell short. Even when we was 2-1 down in that game, even when we was 3-2 down in that game, I've been more annoyed on watch-alongs when we've won games than I was at that point. Because it's like, you man actually put the effort in. You man actually gave Liverpool a game. Cool. And if we lost, but we managed to win the game, thankfully, through to the FA Cup semi-final. Nothing better than beating Liverpool as well. They'll always be number one up to me. So, yeah, like, that has disappeared. And sorry, that falls on the manager and the players. This is why I want everybody gone, pretty much.
Yeah, I know I know it falls on the players, but bro, the thing for me is the manager is unseasoned is the best description I can give. He has no style of play. I think as soon as he came out and said, I'm not trying to play the Ajax style of football, or I can't play the Ajax style of football, I think that was the nail in his coffin. I think that was when he started to just finish himself, because what he had or what he's done now is go in there. I've seen the team on multiple occasions, and I've said this before, I've seen the team on multiple occasions go out there, a brilliant first half. They go into the changing rooms, they come back out, and they look like a weak team, no mindset, nothing. And I had to just ask the question, like, what are you saying to these players at half time, where they come into a game in the first half and they're actually playing very well, they're fighting for the badge, they look like they're playing with spirit, they look like they're fighting out there and actually want to win the game. They go into a half time and then they come out. What are you saying to them to make them act like this? Are you telling them to sit back? Are you telling them to play reserved? Like, I
There's no
genuinely
clear
don't know what this
instructions.
guy is doing.
He's panicking. That's why you mentioned him in press conferences. I've long time stopped listening to anything he says in an interview. So whether that's before a game, whether that's after a game, I pay zero attention. That's pressure getting to him. When you hear him talk and him just say absolute rubbish, and it's like, oh, we played well. No, we didn't. What game were you watching? That's pressure. And I keep talking about this. The pressure at Manchester United is different. You are under the microscope. And we watched him last season perform well, exceeded all my expectations, finished third, like I said, won a cup. Now the pressure's on to go again. Now you're under the spotlight. You're under even more pressure now. You spend more money now. So now people expect more. Drawing at Manchester United is worldwide news. There's certain teams who we've won, and then certain teams have lost, and Manchester United will receive more criticism than the team losing. Like, for instance, I use De Zerbi as an example, and I think De Zerbi is a good manager, but I have my doubts over De Zerbi, and they'll get beat, and it won't get mentioned. Manchester United will win a game, and it's a conversation because we didn't play well. People need to notice that. You can't go 2 months without a win at Manchester United Football Club as the manager. Are you crazy? And what could I actually think Ten Hag is a good manager, just not for this level, because this level is completely different. And I believe he will be a success to an extent after here. Same way we've seen managers leave and be successes. Same way Mourinho's left there and went on and won a trophy at Roma and done good things there. The same way we watch Moyes leave and go and win a European trophy at West Ham and solidify them as a Premier League club. Certain managers are for certain levels, and that's okay. Same way Van Gaal left and was a success and had success with the Netherlands. I think they finished third in the World Cup. I know the chat will correct me if I'm wrong. It's only Ollie, but he's one of the worst managers we've ever seen in the Premier League. So he was never going to be a success anywhere else. This is why he can't get a job. But outside of him, everyone else has been successful elsewhere, because we are looking for the top 1% of the top 1%. Very few managers are going to succeed here for what we're doing, because just being a solidified Premier League club or just being a top 6 club or top 4 is not good enough. We are looking to compete and win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. That is the aim. People will say Manchester United are not there. No, but we spend the money to. Manchester United, that money, even though the money is not spent correctly, the intent is for Manchester United to go and compete and win major honors. And it's very, very tough. Very tough.
Yeah. Listen, I think let's just say it right. He's definitely not the right guy for any kind of top job.
Definitely
I
not.
I, I think at any top club, he just there's certain you have to have a certain oomph about you to be able to handle that kind of pressure. He can't.
No,
He's been falling apart, and he is currently falling apart. And
facts.
actually now I think he's fallen apart fully. I think
Yeah, it's a wrap for him, man. He's panic. Yeah,
he's
straight pressure.
broken now. He's
Yes,
broken now. So any decision he's making, I really do agree with you. To the fact that he is panicking now. Anything that he's
good man.
doing is just off the dome right now. There's no planning. There's no um
There's no
pre
thought process
look.
going in. It's
There's no
straight
thought
panic because
process
he's under
into it,
pressure.
bro. Yeah, I listen. I definitely agree with you. Guys, we're gonna get into some questions. Um,
Yeah, get your
so make
questions
sure
in.
to get them in, guys. Make sure to get your questions in right now for Flawless about Manchester United. Let's make them serious, guys. We will do. I think there's a banter one as well. But Indian Guna has a question. He says, in worst case scenario, who will you pick? Keeping Ten Hag, Potter, Southgate, or Mourinho?
They're the options. We're screwed regardless, so it don't matter. They're the four options. Like fold the club. Right, it's a wrap.
Bro,
The show's over. None of those
that
four are good enough for where we're trying to go to. None of them.
I don't think keeping Ten Hag is the right option.
No,
Potter
Paul is
is
definitely
definitely
not.
not the right option. He went to Chelsea, and
We
Chelsea is
watched him.
half of what
He
Man United is.
Exactly. He's the prime example of what I'm talking about. Certain managers are good for certain levels. If you just want to be a Premier League club, solid mid-table, maybe top 7, play good football, guess what? Graham Potter's your guy. Graham Potter could go back to a Brighton and be successful. You put him at Brentford, you put him at Brighton, I mean, a Palace, for instance, at West Ham, any club like that, fine. But we watched the pressure absolutely mash him up at Chelsea. We watched what happened. We all seen it. He was a shadow of himself there because that pressure at a big 6 club is completely different. When you're at Chelsea or Manchester United or at Arsenal or Liverpool, you are under scrutiny 25/8. Everything you do, everything you say is analyzed and critiqued, broken down ridiculously. Every single thing. It's not like that at other clubs. So there, all these options are awful. All of them.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. I think those options are definitely not the right one. Um, yeah, I don't. I think right now you need to go to a manager who's first of all been at a big club.
Yes.
Second of all, obviously you have a preference of not being in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Thirdly, they have to come in with a style of play that, let's face it, we all look at Patch. We all look at Ange,
Yeah.
and we see his situation with him just drilling this into the players' heads. Yeah, he plays his system regardless
Facts. He
because
does, and that's the thing is, yes, and that's what you have to you need. Also, I want a manager who's won something, and it doesn't have to
yeah.
be a Premier League or a Champions League or even a domestic league in a
Mm.
in a top European country. Just won something, even if it's their version of an FA Cup, their version of a Carabao Cup, a Europa League, a Conference League. I don't want a manager coming here and the first time they're going to win something and they're under pressure is at Manchester United. Have something on your CV. I don't know what happened to it's like some of the managers I see Manchester United fans mention, and I'm like, what happened to the criteria being better than that? Oh, he's had one good season, and all of a sudden, yeah, get him at Manchester United. Is that where the bar is? We wouldn't do that for a player. But
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Listen, I agree, man. I think right now there's serious situations about where you go from here, and yeah, it's just a situation where now you have to take the right steps in regards to getting a manager in now.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to. Um, next question here I have from Arsenal the Groot saying, Flawless, where do you stand on the Greenwood situation? He is by far the most talented player you have. Club needs to be strong club needs to be strong and should take the right decision without worrying about media pressure. I just want to quickly correct you. The most talented player, I think, has been moved from him to a new player now, which we will speak about later.
I know you're gonna
Um,
mention.
Nah, I don't care, bro. I don't care.
I know what you're gonna
I'm
say.
putting my neck on the line.
I know what
So
you're gonna say.
that crown has officially been taken off of his head. Thank you very much. There you go.
I
Put it
know what
onto
you're
his
gonna
head.
say. Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a question, bro.
So yeah, in regards to the Greenwood situation, so I talk about him in regards to his talent as a footballer. Never ever gonna doubt it. Supremely talented footballer. Was a big fan of his when he's here, and I spoke on it before the whole situation of his broke out, during the period, after the period. My stance remains the same. I don't want to see him in a Manchester United shirt again. There's certain things I don't tolerate from a moral standpoint, and what came out with him, I am not with. People say, "Oh well, the evidence was enough for me." It's not like the gal said it and then there was nothing that came out about the situation. We seen visual evidence in terms of photos. We seen messages, etc. Like we heard the audio. So that's just my stand, and it's something for anyone who may respond to this. I'm not having a back and forth about it either. It's not like me and Saad here talking about, or is De Zerbi good enough for Manchester United, or example, or is Ineos, or whatever the case may be. I'll hear the other side on footballing debates. This is beyond the footballing debate with Greenwood.
Yeah.
My moral standpoint is I don't mess with people who do that type of thing, period. I have a no-fly zone, zero tolerance. I don't want to see him in a Manchester United shirt again. That's been my standpoint from the beginning and will continue to be my standpoint. Don't care about his talent.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the evidence was there. From a standpoint.
And just one
no
more
matter
thing
what
before you
happened-
go as well, because
go
people
ahead.
will say,
Yeah.
"Oh, he got let off," and the girl who he was involved with forgave him. Because she forgave him doesn't mean that I need to forgive him and forget. Let me just clarify that. People say, "Oh, he's not guilty." Well, for those that don't know, then take it back even further. He's in jail now, but when R. Kelly first went to trial, he got found not guilty. So just to clarify, not guilty does not necessarily mean you didn't do it. Just to clarify.
Exactly. No, 100%. And I think in the eyes of the public and in regards to public opinion, the guy's finished. Let's just say it like this. Let's just say it straight. He can't ever play football in England again.
Yeah,
he can't. He can't, because they will throw stuff at him. They, bro, if you've seen what other players have received when they've moved, that was just moving clubs to another club. And I'm talking about the situation with Ali Bayor when he went and celebrated in front of us when he scored against us. Yeah. And then they threw coins at this guy.
Yeah.
God knows what's gonna happen to this guy
if he gets back. Yeah.
Bro, I'm on the exact same. I'm on the exact same boat as Flawless here. In regards to, there's no toleration for that kind of stuff. None.
No.
Zero. Like you do that, there's nothing. There's not. You can't. And there's proof. There was proof there. Yeah.
Yes, there was enough for me. Yes, so, we heard the audio and seen the pictures. I'm good.
There's nothing there to do it. Anyway, moving on from that question. I want to speak about transfers, and obviously we'll get into other stuff. But in regards to transfers, we have one here from Sak Igor Stimak, who says Manchester United need signings. We can try Muller from Bayern Munich for experience, and we should have taken Aymeric Laporte.
He's talking about Laporte from he was at Manchester City, the centre back.
Yeah.
He's talking about
Aymeric Laporte.
Yeah, that's not actually a bad idea. That wouldn't have been a bad idea, but I highly doubt we could have got him. We do need signings, yes. We need multiple signings. Agreed with that. Muller from Bayern, no, because Manchester United are not where we are because of a lack of experience.
Yeah,
it's a lack of quality. We have that. Our team's full of experienced players. So no lack. Like there's the only players who you can really say are inexperienced like that. Maino, who plays regularly. Maino, Garnacho, Højlund, you can throw in the mix as well. That's pretty much it. Like everyone else has been playing at Manchester United for a number of years and has racked up appearances. Once you played in the Premier League consistently and Champions League and domestic cups and for your international teams, you're experienced. Like everybody, I would say, like Delo, Varane, the list goes on. Martinez, Shaw, they've been around. Casemiro goes without saying. McTominay, as bad as he is, experienced. Bruno's experienced, been here. Anthony, you could he's now been playing in the top domestic league for what, 3-4 years now. He was at He was in
Ajax.
Holland. Yeah, he was at Ajax for 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. Now he's been at Manchester United 2 years. So that's 4 years, half a decade. These men are experienced. You
They're
total up
playing
once you're
Champions League football as
playing
well in
Champions League
knockout.
football. Once you've totaled up 100 first team appearances, guess what? You experience. I think it's not a lack of experience, a lack of skill. That's what it is. We lack quality. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. He also put in another chat saying Rafael Leao from AC Milan. Would you
Big
take
fan.
him?
Big fan. I'm a big
Are
fan
you?
of. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Leao. I know he had his problems this season and he went a few months without scoring, and I don't watch Serie A like that. But I'm a big fan of Rafael Leao and have been. But again, if the recruitment, if the hierarchy is smart and the style is implemented, then it shouldn't just go and be. My problem with Manchester United is we too busy concentrating on names. They like fans. And I say this all the time, forget the fans, including myself. Don't focus on names, focus on profiles. Because football is a system game. It shouldn't just be, let's say it is Leao. Go and get me a Leao, for example. No. Go get me a profile. I need left winger that does this, and this. All right, here's a list of left wingers who do all of those things that needed. Then you look at age, you look at injury record, you look at where price points, you look at where they nationality in regards to where they're coming from, what league, etc., etc. There should be a list profiles over names. Too many times have our board just gone for names, and that's why we've ended up in the predicament we're in, and that ties into a lack of a system, which ties into a lack of structure at the football club. All leads back to that. And that's something that Ineos need to address and can address. And if they do, I'll give them their plaudits and say, hey, well done. If they don't, then we're just going to continue to just throw money and get names. And then we'll have a whole team that doesn't work. So that was the problem with our last summer. We sign players that don't mesh for any style. They don't. How you sign Hoyland, Mount, and Onana don't make sense. Whether you rate the players or not, it don't make sense, people, in regards to from a style perspective. They all do different things. Makes no sense.
Yeah, listen, for me, Rafael Leao, because I was having arguments with my own fan base because they were saying get rid of Martinelli and bring in Rafael Leao. Now, where I was having arguments with them was, okay, I can understand you want to get in Rafael Leao for the dribbling ability and how confident he is on the ball, but the final finish is still not there, and he is very cocky in the way that he likes to finish the ball. I've seen him do multiple little back flicks, back heels, trying to back heel it into the goal.
I remember that
which
one of the Champions League games.
Yeah, which to be honest, for me, I need a player who's, bro, they're trying to get the ball into the back of the net. They don't care how it happens as long as it's into the back of the net. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's my only problem. I think that Martinelli is that player who, no matter what's happening, he's trying to go and get the ball into the back of the net. He might not be as aesthetically pleasing, and yes, people would say, oh, he just looks down, he doesn't have his head up. But listen, for me, I think he's got a bright future ahead of him, and he's still young.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He can still improve, and I look at his attributes and go, you can get better, and you have enough skill right now. Like I see him, and I was like, oh yeah. You could be one of them once. But it's just a question of, again, I spoke about system and having the right players around him. If you get the right system, because at AC Milan, he by himself. Yeah, they are literally, he has very, very little
one
help.
man.
And I don't watch them like that, but the few times that I have watched him, I go, yeah, you are literally out there by yourself. So, and he's carrying, that's a humongous club. It's a historic club, AC Milan. So yeah, we'll see.
Here's we're just gonna take a quick just go back to a question here about the ownership and this stuff. So Raider here says, flawless. Arsenal had to endure years of paying off debt for the Emirates. How do you feel about Manchester United getting subsidized for yours? Do you think it's gonna happen?
With the new stadium, maybe. It depends on the dealings and how we go about the new stadium. Do we knock down Old Trafford and build a new stadium right there? Do we stay at Old Trafford and build a new stadium in the surrounding area? Because for those that haven't been to Old Trafford, there's so much space surrounding Old Trafford. So much space. So if they decide to build a new stadium, they could not only build a new stadium, there could be a whole complex with Manchester United themed things around it. So if we do get penalized for it, cool, because we still spend enough money to compete. It's all about the money being spent smartly. That's been my biggest issue with Manchester United in the past 10 years, is not the amount of money we spend, how we spend it. If we would have spent it smartly, we would have been in a much better situation, because even in our worst period, we still picked up trophies. We've won a Europa League, we've won an FA Cup, and we've won 2 Carabao Cups. So we've won four. So in our worst period, we've won 4 trophies in 10 years. If it's the FA Cup, that's 5 and 11. And that goes to show even 5 and 11 is not good enough for Manchester United. Bear in mind, none of them are major trophies. So if we get penalized, we get penalized. But I'm not having that as an excuse not to compete. Because if we spend it smartly, we can still go and compete and win major honors, but still capable. It's just about doing it in the correct, has to be done in the correct manner. This is why, and what I'm talking about, people, is extremely tough. I can't clarify that enough. I can't say that enough. The job that people at Manchester United have to do is extremely tough. But guess what? They are compensated extremely well to do an extremely tough job. That's why you're made a millionaire off the job. This is why you're paid thousands upon thousands of pounds a week to do what you do. That's why it's not me. That's why it's not Saad. That's why it's not anybody in the chat. It's like it's them lot who are being paid this. Do your job. Word to Roy Keane. Do your job.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. I think at the moment, bro, listen, he is in a situation where this is where I stand. I don't think it's gonna hurt you as much as it did to us, because I think commercially you're a giant. You make too much money for a stadium to really hurt you, where you end up in a situation like us, where we had to sell our best players and we had to spend years paying it off. I don't think that will happen to.
Yeah, we'll still spend. Yeah, like you said, because of the
understand?
amount we spend.
Yeah, I don't think personally that will happen, just because of how much you make as a club. You know what I mean? You're one of the biggest clubs in England. Well, definitely the biggest club in England commercially, and one of the biggest in the
commercial
world.
juggernaut.
So,
So it's like we should be okay.
So you're competing with the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid in that instance there, and Bayern Munich and with them guys. But guys, I hear you guys saying Mainu, Wilshere was better than Mainu and all of this. Guys, when did I mention Wilshere, bro? I'm talking about Greenwood being, he was one of the best talents to come out in Man United for a minute, and I said that crown got taken away from Greenwood's head and put right onto Mainu's head. That's all I'm saying. Relax, guys. Nobody's bringing Wilshere into it. Nobody is bringing Wilshere into it, bro. Why are we getting all heated for no reason in the chat? But I think moving on to the transfers, because transfers is an important place to start off, because there's a lot of different transfers going on right now. I do want to speak about the mentioning Greenwood, obviously. There's been some breaking news today that broke, where Manchester United are going to be offering Mason Greenwood as part of a deal to get Bremer from Juventus, the centre back, Brazilian centre back. So they're looking to get Bremer in. Who, listen, I've seen a couple of games for Juventus, you know. So I've seen a couple of games that he's played in, and he looks okay. He looks like a decent centre back. But they're looking to try and get rid of Greenwood in the same instance, which I think is absolutely just really smart.
Yeah, it's smart business. If you have an asset you no longer want to use, then definitely use it as leverage in another deal. In regards to the centre back, I've never watched him, so I can't comment in terms of his ability and whether I think it's a good signing or not. I do like the fact that we are looking at centre backs, because we need centre backs. We got Varane, who's quality. Martinez is good, even though he needs to stay fit. Johnny Evans as a backup is fine. I have no issue with that, but the rest of our centre backs gotta go. Lindelof not good enough. Maguire not good enough. I do like the youngster Kambawala. He's played well when he's played, but I wouldn't want to be relying on him. So we need, at least in an ideal world, we need 2 centre backs to me. Unless the manager is going to convert whoever the next one is, Luke Shaw, to a left-sided centre back. Because as much as I'm not a fan of Luke Shaw, he as a left-sided centre back, he's good enough as backup.
Yeah.
So I'm just like the fact that it's an area we're looking to improve. But again, it ties into, does Bremer fit the style we're trying to play? I hope that's been identified. Okay, Bremer fits. However, we're trying to go with whoever the next manager is. Cool. Don't just go and sign him because he's a name. Jacob says, hey, he won Spurs Serie A Defender of the Year. Don't just go and sign him because of that. Oh, Serie A Defender of the Year, Brazilian, let's go get him. No. There has to be the thought process has to be much more smart, has to be much more clever. Like, that's what it is. Has to be better business. So I hope the approach is better. I hope that's been the approach and it's been a smart play.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I agree, man. I agree. They have to be very smart when it comes to this, because now you're dealing with a situation where I don't know what's going on with my camera. The camera's bugging.
It's, I hear you, man. Wi-Fi going Wi-Fi from time to time.
Bro, the Wi-Fi is definitely Wi-Fi, bro. But yeah, I think in this situation, bro, you're in a situation now where you have to look at these players and what you need more than just what you want. Like, you need to look at fixing what you need in the squad and the holes that you're gonna have in the squad, because you're definitely gonna have some holes.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
And that ties back in again to what I was saying. What's the style of play? What's the system? What's the manager trying to play? That then identifies there, because I don't want a clean. People said, "Oh, clean slate for everybody." Forget all that. No clean slate for everybody. What's the style? Okay, these are the players that are currently here that fit the style. They're here. Even if they're not of quality, these players can be used. Certain players, no. Like we mentioned, Ange Postecoglou, he had a style. Eric Dyer don't fit what I'm trying to do. Eric Dyer didn't see pitch and is now in Germany because he was deemed not good enough for what Spurs were trying to do. That's the way it needs to be done. Even if it's players that don't rate. So, for example, let's say it's Lindelof, not a fan, but he fits the system we're trying. Okay, utilize him for the season. But certain players may not. If it's a Maguire, all right, Maguire don't fit what I'm trying to do. Forget he's English and price tag and that he was England. He plays for England all the time and all this rubbish. No. You're not good enough. And even if we can't move him on, he still doesn't see pitch. Because I guarantee, let's say we want to move him on and we can't move him on in the summer, and he doesn't play from August to January. You know, he's going to be pushing for a move in January so he gets to play football, Maguire. But again, this is on Manchester United being ruthless. And this is what you have to be if you want to be successful. So we'll see. I'm giving any of us a chance. Do I doubt? Do I highly doubt that they'll be this ruthless? Yeah. I don't see much changing, to be honest. But I hope I'm wrong.
There's always going to be that doubt, bro. There is always going to be that doubt.
Yeah, strong doubt. Like, I just really don't see it.
Just because of the situation that you've been in for many years. Do you know what I mean? You get to a point now where it's very hard to fool you, bro. It's very hard to fool you. So yeah, listen, I agree with the fact that there's gonna be moments where you're like, yeah, I'm not believing anything till I see it. Also, another player that I wanted to speak about is Joao Gomes from Wolves, who has been linked to you guys. You're looking at him as a player, want to bring him in. Apparently, you guys are the guys in your department to bring in Henry 14, the GOAT. I will get to your question, bro. I will get to your question. I'm just gonna start it now, bro. Joao Gomez, midfielder for Wolves. I've watched him this season. He's actually been playing very well. My question is this too big of a jump for him? Or do you think he's...
Again, when I've not watched Wolves on a regular basis, when I've watched him, he hasn't stood out. But that's not me saying he's not good enough. It's the same as the Bremer. It's the same answer as the Bremer question. Does he fit what we're trying to do? Does he fit the style? Does he fit the system? Is he what the manager wants? And that's literally the answer to any signing we make. Because football is such a system game now in 2024. Systems reign supreme. There's very, very few players who will show their quality, in particular at the biggest clubs, without a system. This is why you see big players who are supremely talented go to clubs and not show it. Just a prime example of that, like with no one can't tell me Enzo's not talented. But why does
Yeah.
Enzo look? He looks awful at times. No one can't tell me Caicedo, who I'm a big fan of, is not talented. But how's Caicedo shown better form at Brighton than he's done at Chelsea so far? And I can use Manchester United players. This is why Casemiro at times has looked terrible. Casemiro's supremely talented. Do not believe that he lost his legs. Rubbish. Look at the system that's around him. Systems reign supreme. Some players, like I said, their skill set will take them over the top and they'll always shine just because of the type of player they are. But most players, probably like I'd say 95%, need a system if you are going to see the very, very best. So that's the same with Gomes, Bremer, anybody else Manchester United are getting linked to. I'm looking at what is a Manchester United player. At the end of the summer, that's what I need to be able to either, okay, this is where we're going. Not even the end of the summer, 4 or 5 games in, I need to be able to identify what a Manchester United player is. I can tell you what a Manchester City player is at Pep. I can tell you what a Liverpool player is at Klopp. And go to the bottom of the league, I can tell you what a Sean Dyche player is at Everton. Oh, I could see why. Like when Sean Dyche they was interested in McTominay. As much as I don't rate McTominay, I fully understand why Sean Dyche wanted McTominay. I see how and where he fits into that system and how it works. How come we can't do that at Manchester United? That has to change. That has to change. And that's got to be 3-4 games in. Like, okay, I now know what a Manchester United player and said manager, what we're looking for. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I agree, man. I think right now the style of play, I think right now what you need to do as a Man United fan when they start bringing these, because whoever the manager is going to be, you have to look at patterns. Are the
Yes,
players
that's what I'm looking for.
matching? Are the players matching each other that are being spoken about? Yeah. And are also the is the manager matching the players that have been brought in or the players that are being looked at? That's what you have to look at now, because if they don't match up, if they don't marry up, or they don't parry up, then bro, it's not gonna work. You can already see it. It's not gonna work. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Listen, I agree with you. It needs to fit a system. The system is very important in this day and age. We've just seen how Arteta's come into this league. He had to do a system. He had to. If he didn't, and he was just freestyling and you know what I mean, just try and do his own thing, and just change his system here and there, bro. It will be tits up, bro. It will be serious situations, bro. So, yeah, I definitely agree that it needs to be looked at. The system itself needs to be looked at, because that's top priority to getting the right system and making the right environment around the players for me. In Manchester United. Just a quick question here from Henry 14 the GOAT, who says, Flawless, would you want a new stadium or would you renovate the Old Trafford itself?
I'm not really fussed because I'm not a match goer. Doesn't really matter to me. Like I know season ticket holders, that's who it will affect. So I'm not fussed whether it's a new stadium or renovating Old Trafford. Like I don't have the nostalgia as much as I love Old Trafford. They decide to renovate it, cool. New stadium, cool. I suppose a new stadium would probably be more than renovation. So probably a new stadium. Might be 100. It might bust 100,000 K. It might be that.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to go. They're gonna have to go with a new stadium, bro.
It's on them
In
because
my
they could,
opinion.
like I said, they could build around the way Old Trafford is. There's so much space, so they
Bro, it's an
might decide to
industrial.
stadium.
It's an industrial estate, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of space.
I know that because my company has like they have an office, a massive depot thing. They have a depot right next to Old Trafford. I've been there, and I've been right next to Old Trafford when I went to that depot. So
Yeah.
I know already that that's the situation there, man. But moving on, I think we need to move on to the player side of it. Keep, sell, loan. We need to get to this because I think this has to be the interesting part of it. And I can't lie, I don't actually think I've got a background for us because it's gonna come up with this. But
Let's
let
come.
me just get this right here. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. So actually, I think if we just leave it like this, and then I just share my screen. This should actually work better. Right. Okay. There we go. Bang. So we have it there. Let me just remove the comment. This is the full Manchester United squad. The absolute full Manchester United squad. We're gonna go through it. We're gonna have a look at it. We're gonna have a look at what players you would get rid of. What players you would keep in the squad, and you just let me know. So we'll start off from the beginning, or from the top, and we'll start off with Andre Onana. Are you keeping him or are you selling him?
It's a tough one still with Onana. Yeah, sell.
Are you gonna sell him? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd tell him. Yeah, sell.
Your actual number one keeper, who to this day I don't actually know if he exists. I
Yeah,
think we
Bayern
saw
day he
him.
played against Newport County. Yeah, he
We,
played in
we
the
saw,
FA Cup. I'd keep him. Yeah, I'd keep him.
we saw him. We saw him against Newport County, and we saw him during Onana being at Africa Cup of Nations. But before then, we didn't know. Legend has it he didn't even exist, bro. It was just a
Facts.
money laundering scheme, bro. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah, Bayern day
that's
I'd
what
keep.
the allegations are, bro. But yeah, you'd keep him, yeah.
Yeah, I keep him.
He actually
Yeah.
looks like an alright keeper, yeah.
Yeah, man. That worst
Um,
case scenario, he seems like he could be a good backup. I actually wanted him to get a run when Onana was having his terrible form, even though he's improved now. I was like, give Bayern there a run out. Why not?
No, fair enough. Tom Heaton. I think he's I don't even know what this guy's
Why
doing.
not? Yeah, keep Tom Heaton. He's third choice goalkeeper. I'm not going Tom Heaton's calm. Yeah, Tom
You
Heaton's
keeping
calm.
him, yeah? Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to go into the Sandro Martinez. If you,
Yeah.
I have to get you checked out. If you're saying sell, if you say sell to Lissandro Martinez,
No.
I need
Keep
to check you out,
Martinez,
bro.
100%.
Lissandro Martinez is a baller.
Mm.
He's a prick, and I hate him as on the pitch, because this guy wants to kill people and actually wants to injure people. I can see it, but he's a good centre back nonetheless. Rafael Varane.
Yeah, same. Keep quality centre back.
Keep,
Our
yeah?
best centre back. Yeah.
Harry Maguire.
So
that's easy
not
as
good enough.
everything. Victor Lindelof.
So
Kambola, who you said you wanted to keep.
yeah, keep. Yeah.
You wanted to keep him. He's a youngster anyway. Johnny Evans.
Yeah, keep Johnny Evans, man. Solid backup, Johnny Evans. He's played well this season. It's gone under the radar.
I think he has, bro. I think
Yeah.
it's because of the whole situation and the whole media coverage and everything like this. His performances have actually, bro. I didn't even realize this guy could still ping a ball like that. I think there was this one game where
Johnny Evans can play. People like Johnny Evans can play. People just look at the age and the name and think, oh, Johnny Evans has been consistently one of our better players this season. He's not had a bad game. And he's one player, when I see him in the lineup, no matter who we're playing, I don't worry about. I'm not like, oh, Johnny Evans is playing cool. Can play left-sided centre-back, right-sided centre-back, consistently 6 and 7 out of 10. Cool, no issue. Yeah, I keep him.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Guys, is somebody being racist in that? Indian Guna, can you let me know if somebody's being a racist? Because
block anyone talking rubbish, man.
Just either way we're gonna ban, because he said stop being racist. So either way he's getting banned. But yeah, moving on. Luke Shaw.
Yeah, even though I said keep him as a backup left-sided centre-back, it was like, yeah, I'd sell him. It's time. Been here too long. That's a statement of intent. As much as I think he could do a job.
Malacia.
Don't know what's going on with Malacia. Reports came out talking about it wasn't just a physical, it was also he was struggling. And I said this when we heard nothing in regards to his injury and no updates, but I would keep him. But I liked what I've seen last season. I'm just hoping he's okay.
Can I just ask a quick, because at the moment we've been seeing a lot of players that are like they're having breaks off mentally because of the mental stress and all of that. Do you think that has something to do with Ten Hag's management skills and how
Nah,
they don't see any? But let me just explain it to you, Flawless.
yeah,
Yeah,
go on.
because for me, if you have, let's just say, Flawless has his company, yeah, and you have your main office, and you have your workers that are working in your main sales office, but there's no sense of direction, yeah. They're
Yeah,
being
I
told to do one thing one week, and they're being told to do the other thing the next week, and then the other thing here. Eventually, people mentally are going to be worn out. And I'm
true.
thinking, are these players being worn out mentally by the lack of direction, the lack of not having one aim, one way to play this and that? That's the reason why I say, do you think it has something to do with Ten Hag? I think my explanation for that is there no sense of direction for them due to what is happening on the pitch? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. The reason why I would say no is because this happened before the start of the season. If
Oh,
this
okay.
happened during, I'd be like, all right, it's definitely a possibility. And you could still be right because we're just speculating here. But because it was early on and we've not seen him all season long, that's why. Because the reports came out talking about there was a setback with his injury and things of that nature. So I could see why that would affect someone's mentality. I could see that.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. I thought I'd just ask the question anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Moving on to Diego Dallo, who I have been told he's been your best player in this season.
He's performed well. He has performed well, but we need to improve on him 100%. He should be a squad player. I'd keep, but only as a squad player.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Wan-Bissaka.
Keep as a specialist in regards to we're in the Champions League, we're going away to the Bernabeu. Vinicius Jr.'s on the left-hand side, or we're going away to AC Milan and it's Rafael Leao. Last right back they want to see is Wan-Bissaka. So I keep him, but literally for specialist games as a specialist.
No, 100%. Scott McTominay.
Sell, get rid, not good enough. Get rid.
I think he's done, man. His time is done out. Manchester United. Casemiro.
Keep 100%. Still got so much to offer.
Yeah?
Still performs to a level. Yes, I'm still keeping. Yeah.
Sufyan Amrabat.
Yeah, let him go back to Fiorentina.
You wouldn't activate the loan to
He'd
buy,
be easily to get. Be a good squad player, but you can easily get that hard worker, try hard, who will close down, and you can definitely get that. You could easily get better than that.
No, 100%.
Star boy, you know what I'm saying? As they're calling him,
man.
the main man. Yeah, I'm keeping him.
Yeah. I think just quickly, because we have to go into this. Just quickly. I want you to give me your. I'll talk about it after. I'll give you my input after. No, because listen, no matter what happens, yeah, I hope you know, yeah, I fully hate your club. I do. Yes. I hate Manchester United to like deep within, bro. There's a hatred there for Manchester United. Like, I hate your club, but I still can appreciate ballers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I get you.
So
I get you.
I'll explain after, but I just want you to give me your thoughts on Kobe Mainoo's this season.
Oh, quality. And when I speak about systems reigning supreme, he's just a player who shows with his quality that it doesn't matter, because he's in the worst possible predicament at times with two of our worst players around him. I've seen him perform well in the midfield with Bruno and McTominay. Talk about being out there by yourself at that age, playing in the central midfield, which is so tough as well. But yeah, quality all around. One thing I say about him that doesn't get spoken about a lot, his balance on the pitch. Man just looks like he's on skates, like in regards to the way he glides across the pitch. You know what I'm saying? It's a beauty, and people really underestimate that. His balance, agility, strong. So like physically he has it, and it's not just the strength and the power. No, like balance and agility, his ability to turn and things of that nature, drop a shoulder, exceptional. Technically has it as well. His ability to carry the ball, which is very, very underrated skill, in particular playing central midfield, because most central midfielders can't do that. But his ability to turn and pick up the ball and drive, pass, his weight of pass, something that is supremely underrated as well. Not only will he play the correct pass, but he'll play it with the right weight. It's with purpose. It's not on a Bruno thing or where it's like, yo, as long as it gets there, don't matter if it gets there and it's shoulder high. You know what I'm saying? Or it's fire. No. It'll get there with care in regards to it. And technically he has it as well. First touch, mentioned his tackling ability as well. And then mentality seems to be spot on. Never rushed, ties into his composure. And just top quality all around from what I've seen so far. Supremely impressed with him. Supremely impressed.
Yeah, listen, I think from my point of view, I just think that Mainu, for me, as a youngster coming in, I look at him the same way I look at Saka, in the way that both of these guys showed mentality to when your team is in the dumps and when your team is at the lowest point that it's been for a minute, like you rise above it. And you're like,
Absolutely.
I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put 100% and I'm going to show that I'm a talented individual and I should be part of this squad. And I feel like Saka done that when we were going through our troubles during the days when he first stepped in and was playing at left back, out of position. I think Mainu has done that this season with how he's come in, the performances that he's put in, like you said, with certain players in the midfield, i.e. Bruno Fernandes and McTominay. How he works in that midfield, or how he makes he still makes the performance look decent from his point of view is crazy. It's crazy. The composure that I see from this young man and his ability on the ball, his IQ already for being an 18. By the way, this is an 18-year-old we're talking about, guys.
Yeah.
This is an 18-year-old we're talking about. Like the guy's balls are just dropped, bro. Like, let's face it, bro. My man's just become an official adult, bro. Yeah. Yo, it's crazy. It's actually nuts.
Yo.
That was actually crazy. That was actually crazy. Wallah, I said it now. Let's just move on. Wallah. But yeah, listen, this guy has just become an adult officially in the eyes of the government. He's just become an adult, bro. And for me, I think he is, in his position especially, like, I've heard people say I see shades of Seedorf in him. I see shades of Xavi in him. And yeah, I agree. I think you can see that his performances mirror or look up to and try to he wants to try and become like those players. Do you know what I mean? Not necessarily the ones that heavily rely on the GNA. Do you know what I mean? They don't get the goals and assists all the time, but they're always helping before the actual assist is made or the goal is scored. Do you know what I mean? And those players are key in the team. And that is often the most important time, because you are the player who is taking it from defense to attack. It's just that simple. So
facts. You right?
Yeah, for me, listen, I think he's been brilliant for you guys, and I'm very, very jealous, man. Very, very jealous. That you guys have got him, man. Because to be honest, I really wanted this kid. As soon as I saw him playing for you,
you was like, quality.
There was something there. But I was like, you know what? Let's relax, because Staffy was going a bit too crazy in the summer.
Nah, shout out Staffy, man. Relax. Staffy gonna go. You know what I'm saying?
Relax.
Staffy would.
Bro, he's been hyping this guy since summer. So
yeah, man.
I was like,
Staffy.
Relax, and then you know what I mean. But yeah, listen, I think he's a top player, man, star player, man, already, and he's very, very young. So big up to him anyway. Moving on, Christian Eriksen, where are we putting him?
Yeah, keep him as backup. I like Christian Eriksen, backup, no problem whatsoever.
Everyone's favorite, man.
Sell, get rid of him.
You want to give us an explanation quick?
Sell, it's just not good enough. It's just awful. It was awful. That's why you laughing. Sell, like, don't ask me no questions. And the English version of him, sell. 8 and 7, bye. Sell them both. Not good enough. Bye. See you later. Yeah, you laugh. You know what I'm saying? Sell them both instantly.
Man said,
8-7
the,
guy, go.
man said English version of him, bro.
Yeah, he can
Oh
go too,
my
man. English
god.
version can go too, man. You know,
Hey, Mason, man, that's crazy. Man said the English version of him can go too, bro.
yeah, man. Get
Yeah,
rid of them both.
that is not happening, bro. Hey, that is crazy. Big up, man. Shola Shori
Showtime.
Shorataya?
Not seeing enough of him,
Shortire.
so I can't say. Like from Showtime, he's barely played like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen him play before as well. And he's got a dual
He's played a few
nationality.
times, but yeah, that's it.
Hmm. I haven't actually seen him play, to be honest, but I don't watch Man United week in, week out. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't have seen him. But yeah, the young kids, I don't really think there's
Yeah,
a sell.
loan. You said,
The young kids, man.
yeah, loan.
There's
Let's
a
loan
there's
him
a
out.
there's a
Let him
loan
go get game time.
there's loans, man. Yeah, 100%. Marcus Rashford,
Sell. Time.
big
Time's
news,
up.
bro. He's
Time.
being chased by
This
a
this
few
one bad,
clubs now.
yeah, let him go, man. This one good season, one bad season, I think is not the one. We talk about consistency. He can go. Bye.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think his time is just personally done, man.
It's a wrap.
Garnacho,
Keep as a squad player.
Anthony,
Sell.
yeah, he's done out. With all due respect to him,
Yeah. Finish.
Amad Diallo,
I'd keep. He needs game time. Even if it's
would
as a
you
squad
loan
player, he
him?
needs to be playing. No. Because we need, if we were to loan him, we then need 2 right wingers. So I'd get a right winger
Okay.
and then have him as backup and let those 2 fight out for that spot. So I'd keep Diallo.
Okay, fair enough. Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah, Holland keep. Yeah, I keep.
He's the one, man. He's the one. He's the main guy for you guys, man. I think he's a
Holland I
top
keep. We
striker,
still
man.
need a couple strikers, but definitely keep Holland.
Yeah, I think he's a good striker for you lot. Martial.
Yeah, so time. He's going as a free agent anyway at the summer. It's time, man. Injuries, all that stuff. Yeah, it's time to move him on.
Bro, he's 28, bro.
Yeah,
You know
it's
how
time to move
crazy
him on.
that is? I remember
It's
this
time to
guy
move
was
him on.
coming in
Time
with
to move him on.
clauses, Ballon d'Or clauses. Bro, he's 28, bro. It's crazy. That's crazy. I remember him as a youngster, bro. Literally. So, bro, it's crazy. Right. Thank you very much for doing that.
It's all good.
Last thing I just want to get out the way before we end off the show. I know you know your time is precious, bro. So I know
It's all good, fam, man. We got time.
do.
We got time. Man's here. I'm listening. I'm locked in.
I just want to ask you a few final points.
Yeah.
What are some players, obviously, that you're trying to look for to come in, and some players that you would want to see, or the type of what position? Actually, let me ask that question a different way.
Okay.
What are positions that you think need to be filled? What are the holes in the squad at the moment that you think need to be filled in your squad?
In the squad, definitely a goalkeeper. Spine of the team first and foremost. Goalkeepers needed, 100%. This is starting lineup. 2 central midfielders are needed because as much as I like Maino, we shouldn't be relying on him week in, week out. Just spoke about Bruno, not good enough. Striker as well, because Højlund's not good enough either. Like to be starting week in, week out at this moment. So that's a goalkeeper, 2 central midfielders, and a striker. And that's the start. Then outside of that, we need 2 new fullbacks. It's pretty much a new whole team because we need 2 new fullbacks and we need a left winger and a right winger. So both sides we need 4. Like that's just the start. Never mind back up to that. But first team is what did I just name there? That's 1, 3, 5, basically 8, which is basically a whole new team.
That you need a whole new team.
Need a whole new team. That's where it's at. And that's excluding squad players. If we're really trying to go, and yes, getting 8 is not ideal, but that's how I'm going to answer the question, because it's not a question of relying on systems to get more out of players and things of that nature. It's like in an ideal world, that's what we need. Wouldn't sell everybody, but I'd sell the majority, and then the rest is just keep the squad players. So yeah, but the most important is the spine, which is goalkeeper, central midfield area, where I think we need 2 midfielders and a striker. They're the 4 positions I'm looking at and going, yes, improvements.
Yeah, nah, 100%, man. Listen, I think at the moment the squad is heavily depleted. With with players that need to leave, certain players that can stay, but only on a basis of squad players. Can't really be a first teamer. I think as a starting 11 goes, right now the squad is right now the starting 11 is depleted, where there's not enough skill in regards to the players that you actually have on the pitch. Definitely need to look at improving that, because listen, these guys, if we actually look at the bigger picture, when we look at Manchester United right now as a whole, it definitely is a mess right now.
Facts.
And they've got one hell of a job to clean this thing up. And I think if they do it, this could be the biggest club cleanup. See, obviously, I think our club cleanup was very big, because the fact that they've been able to take over and the Cronkies have been able to change us from that to this now is massive. So for me, I'm looking at it like this, bro. If they can take Manchester United back to challenging for titles and possibly winning league titles, bro, that's something else. That's something
facts.
else.
They'll be lauded. They'll be heroes if they do that. Absolute heroes, and they have the facilities to do it. It's just, can they? That is the big question. But this summer will tell me a lot. This summer will tell me a lot.
Yeah, no, 100%, man, 100%, and it definitely will. It definitely will. Now, I think that's it. I think we're done then. I think we're done here. Listen, Flawless, as always, bro. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the channel, bro. It's absolute
Appreciate
pleasure to chop it up about your beloved Manchester United.
Of course, man.
Let us know, man. What have you got? What have you got coming up?
Before we get to that,
shows?
Arsenal, man, I want to know your thoughts on a couple things. That's what it is.
There you are.
I want to know your thoughts on a couple things.
I knew this is so. You're gonna come and ask me questions?
Yeah, I want to ask you a couple questions, like, because the chat might not know.
Go.
I definitely don't know. So this is why I'm asking. Obviously, you got a big game coming up. You wax lyrical about the cleanup job and how Arteta has done, and he's done a good job at Arsenal. You're in the title race. Obviously, you play City on Sunday, Champions League quarterfinals versus Bayern Munich. Do you think you win the league first and foremost? That's what I want to know.
Do we win the league?
Yes.
I think it's possible. I think it's.
Is it okay? Let me switch that. Is it dependent on the City game? Do you look at? If you win that game, do you go, yeah, we win the league?
Yes.
All right. So on the flip side, if you lose that game, you go, league's gone.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily, and I'll tell you for why.
Go on.
If we lose that game, we're 3 points away from we're 3 points behind Liverpool and 2 points behind City. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're 2 points behind City. Yeah. Now, if we lose that game, that's still enough of the gap is still small enough for us to be able to overcome that. They can still both lose a game, and then we can win a game, and then we're right back at the same position that we were. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and our goal difference right now, the main thing that we have is goal difference. It's superior to everybody else because of the amount of goals that we've scored and accumulated over the last few weeks that we've been playing. Now, for me, tomorrow is definitely a bro. That game is
Sunday. Game's crazy.
Tomorrow, sorry, Sunday. The game on Sunday is so important. So important because it could be season defining. And the reason why I say we go on to win the league if we beat Manchester City is because I'm a believer in momentum, and the momentum you're gonna get from winning against Manchester City at the Etihad is nuts, bro.
Yeah,
that will give you the momentum, as well as having Luton straight after. And if we pam them, and that's at home, if we pam them, the games we're just gonna fly through the games. I think the only other games are Old Trafford away and
Spurs away.
Spurs away. Those are the games
Uh,
that I'm looking at and I'm like, you know
mhm.
what? They could be a struggle. But also Wolves away is a discussion because Wolves
No.
have actually played some very what Gary O'Neill has done with that squad
Okay.
is nuts with the amount of injuries that he's had. But for me, I just feel like right now, the way our squad is moving defensively, this is probably the most confident I've felt going to the Etihad.
Talk
And
about it.
the basis on that is that defensively we look so hard to break down,
You have been
and
you've been extremely good defensively.
but attacking wise as well. Last season, it's like you'd score, guys. I'm just Brighton away. The only reason why I won't say Brighton away is a very difficult game for me is
It's because
because
you're
they've
Arsenal,
lost.
man. Say the thing.
They've
Talk
lost.
your talk.
Well, we're
Talk your talk,
Arsenal.
Sad man.
We're
You're
Arsenal.
Arsenal, man. Don't try
We're,
and be fake humble. Talk about it.
we're
You think you're a
Arsenal.
much
No,
better
no, hold
side
on.
than them. Go
No,
on.
of course. No. We are a better side than them. We are a better
Yeah,
side to them.
much better side.
But also, what I'm gonna say is they've lost their guy Matoma. He's one of their main outlets. You lose that causes problems. It causes problems. It just is where it is. Do you know what I mean? It is where it is. But I feel like just going back to the attack, yeah. I feel like for the attack, last season, what we were doing is we might score 1 or 2 goals, and it felt like we took our foot off the gas, and we said, okay, let's just sit here in cruise control and relax, and then hold on to this 2-0 lead. This season, complete 180, bro. We're now suffocating teams, and we're just trying to squeeze any kind of chance, any kind of goal out of every team. Maybe since Dubai, that's what we've been doing now. Before Dubai, pre-Dubai, we were, getting through games,
Yeah.
looking like we couldn't
Poster by
score.
Arsenal been different, man.
Bro, the poster by Arsenal,
Poster
it's
by
been
Arsenal
different,
different, man. That glow up
and
different.
if this the glow up was definitely different, bro. But
It's different. Look at the smile on
right
your
now,
face, man.
bro, listen, because they give, bro.
Can see it, man.
Shall I tell you why? Yeah,
Go on.
being in
Let us know.
flawless. Let me dump some of my trauma onto you. Yeah,
Go on.
let me do this. Yeah,
I'm here to help, man.
the last Champions League game that I went to, the
Was
last
it a
before
5-1?
I went to. This is my first Champions League game. Yeah,
Yeah.
against where
Lower
is
it
it?
down. Lower it.
Against
There we
Lons.
go.
Yeah, against
Okay.
Lons. There
Yeah.
we go. Yeah, I went to that game. I saw Kai Havertz doing that. Yeah, come on, man, that's my guy. But that was the game that I went to this year. Yeah,
Mhm.
the last Champions League game that I went to was at the Emirates and was Bayern Munich at home when they pammed us 5-1.
Damn.
Yeah, so I have been
Damn.
I've had trauma. My first game that I ever went to live, yeah, was a trip that my dad and I took to a certain city by the name of Manchester, where I went to Old Trafford. I sat in the away end with my father and got pammed 8-2. That was my first live game. Yeah. So this is my trauma.
Jesus.
So now that we're in this position, when we start winning, when we win a
Yeah,
major
man.
league trophy, bro, my chest is gonna be
Would
pumped
be
out
high.
because
When?
I had to.
And is that this season?
Depending on the game, we'll see.
Okay, so you said if
So,
you win the game, then
I think
league's
we will win
yours.
the league.
If
I think we'll win
if
the
you
league.
don't, then it's still up in the air. Okay, and what about Champions League?
Yeah.
Do you get
Champions
past
League is
Bayern first
difficult.
and foremost? Do you get past Bayern? I actually
I
think
think
you do. As
I
much as
think
I
I
don't
think
want you to, I think you get past Bayern.
I think we can,
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what's important. What's important to
the home
me
leg.
is the home leg. Yeah, there's no Bayern fans in there. It's a
Mhm.
full Arsenal thing. So we need to get 1 or 2 goals, preferably 2 goals,
Mhm.
going into that game away at the Allianz Arena. Then we
Mhm.
can just do a shithousery job, just sit back, dark
Yeah.
hearts, forget it, bro. Yeah, we don't need to play football with them at the Allianz. Forget them. As long as we got the goals at home, that's all good. That's all I'm worried about. But the away leg, I don't care if you go there and play shit football. Do your thing. But at home, you make sure that you score goals. And 1, 2 preferably is what I would look for. I want 2, but I don't mind 1. 1 goal,
Okay.
you can still go there and you can protect that. My defense, I can still see them protecting that. And Bayern Munich will come out and play football against us. I don't think they're a team that would sit back and do it. I know they kind of tried to do that against in a certain sense against Bayer Leverkusen, but I don't see that happening against us. I think they'll have to come out and play football against us because of the history and everything like that. But the Champions League is difficult because we've been given a hard route. So if we take this route now and we win it, I think this is nobody can say we don't deserve it because we got given the hardest route, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I think you lose the semi-final. Like I say, I think you get past Bayern and then lose to whoever's in the semi-final. I don't think you get past Madrid or City over 2 legs. With the second leg being at their place. Well, you do.
To take the second leg into account, yeah. If I had to pick from one of the 2 teams, I'm picking City.
Yeah, of course.
Over Real Madrid. Because City are a known entity. My players don't know fuck all about playing against Real Madrid, bro. They've never come up against Vinicius Jr. That guy cooks. So we already know the situation that he's on. Do you know what I mean? We already know what he's on. So listen, I think right now this team is entering a new
phase. It's a new phase, man. Yeah, man, I know. I can see.
You're such a fraud, bro.
How am I a fraud? It's a new phase. I like that, man. I like this for you, Saad. We done, man. I like what you mean. So what was you going to say? The new what? The team's entering a new what? Go on. Since you don't like the word phase, go on.
I was going to use a new era. Yeah.
So, all right. So enlighten me. What's the difference between era and phase?
No, but an era is, do you know what I mean? It sounds more nice. It sounds more
what? Okay, so you prefer era. Okay, well, use the word era. So you're entering a new era then. The Arteta era. Bro. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is now the Emirates era.
Nah, the Emirates era has been there, bro.
No, but this is the new Emirates era, though. This is the brand new Emirates era, bro. The new Emirates era, man.
Listen, we're on the brink of something, bro. We're on the brink of something. Man. I think
how
young this team.
Because you think you get past. The crazy part is you're not saying it, but I can tell by your reaction that you think you get past Bayern. You don't think you get past Real Madrid, but you think you beat City. And then you fancy yourself in the final against whoever.
No, I don't think we definitely... I think we have a chance against City.
You favor, but you're going to back yourself against City.
We know how they play, of course. But what I'm saying is, if we get Real Madrid, we're definitely out.
Yeah, Real Madrid, that's a whole different thing.
City, there's a chance.
But I'll flip it. I think you think City knock out Real Madrid, correct?
Yeah.
See, I know these things. And we even spoke about this. I know, man. I know. But I know you think you're getting to the... I know you think the stars are aligning and you get into the final. I know it.
But it's still a very steep mountain to climb.
Yeah, man. But it's all right, man. It's cool. You drank... Hey, Saad, it's okay. You drank the Kool-Aid. It's all right, man. Don't worry about it. You're not the first.
Listen, there's no Kool-Aid. Yeah,
there's no Kool-Aid. You're talking about new eras, and there's no Kool-Aid.
It's being realistic. It's being realistic.
Okay.
Flawless.
All right.
So
cool.
This is the facts. Yeah.
Talk to me. Club. Let me know the facts.
The facts about the club. Yeah.
Yeah.
The facts is we need to move from buying these young players now. Yeah. Young players are done out, bro. I don't want to buy these young players anymore. I want to buy world-class talent. At a time you have to move from buying the young talent and buying the up and coming and buying the they're gonna be something in 1 to 2 years. Like you need to buy the now, the good now, bro. Hence why I think Frankie De Jong should be somebody we're bringing in the summer. Hence why I think that Osimhen should be someone that we're bringing in the summer. You know what I mean? We need to be going for world-class talent. I've always liked Nicola Barella. Like these players should be brought in. They
Right.
really should be brought in, bro, for
To bring in the new
for
era.
us to. Yes, exactly.
I see it, man. I see the vision, man. I'm with you, Saad. Why are you laughing? Why?
Because you say this stuff bro. You say this stuff, yeah.
I say this stuff
Honestly,
out.
you act like I don't watch back again, bro. I know. Listen.
Thank you for
Flawless
watching back
acts,
again, first and foremost.
flawless
Secondly,
acts
I
like I
know
don't
you.
watch back again.
I know you
And
watch the content.
I've seen how
But
he tries to draw people in, and then he's
how
like, yeah. He tells you what you want to hear. He tells you what you want to hear, and then best believe the next time I buck him, yeah, the next time I buck flawless, yeah, or when we lose to City, yeah, best believe this guy's gonna be sending me a DM. Oh, hi, Saad. How's the new era? I already know, bro. I already know what he's gonna say, bro.
how am I trying to draw you in for something you said? You said new era. I said phase. You didn't like that term. I said, okay, what term do you want to use? You said era. I said cool. So getting players in like a De Jong, a Usherman, a Nico Barella, all these fancy names, and when they will all add to the Arsenal quality, what better to bed in the new era? It's like when Marvel go to a new phase, they bring in new characters. You know what I'm saying? It's for Marvel heads. They know what this is. They introduce new characters.
I hate this phase word, bro. I hate it.
All right, so we can get rid of
Such
phase.
a
We just use that for
buzzword,
Marvel, but
bro.
you like error, so that's fine. So you want the likes of Nico Barella, maybe a Ivan Toney, a Victor Osherman, and you know what I'm saying, a Frankie De Jong for the new era at Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? After winning a champs, or maybe both.
I don't think the champs is realistic. But listen, who knows?
You think you don't think it's realistic because of Real Madrid, but you think you beat everybody else apart from them.
We're the thing. No, I don't think we beat everybody else. Let's say we get to the final. Let's say we get to the final, yeah?
Yeah. Go on. This is gonna be good. Go on.
Let's say we get Atletico Madrid.
Yeah. All right, long day. So is it just basically it's the two Madrid side?
No way in hell do we beat them.
Okay.
PSG could get techie. PSG could get techie.
Because of Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Bro, he's just.
Well, it's at Wembley though, and you don't have a great record there.
Yes, that's fine. The record is all great, but still, this Kylian Mbappe guy is weird, bro.
Yeah, Mbappe is crazy, 100%.
He's weird, bro. But yeah, listen, bro, right now there's not really much for me to complain about my club.
You are
the only actually
in the title race, quarterfinals of the champs, favorites to get through to the semi-finals of the champs. You're going to City, even though it's away. Yourself and others, none of the Arsenal fans are giving you a chance of winning that game. Surprisingly, I did a fan calling show and many people were picking you lot to win. Many people also said draw. So you have a good chance to go there. Injuries.
Can we just clarify as well? I don't think we're favorites going into that game. Yeah.
No. I don't think you're favorites either. But I'm saying City aren't clear, strong favorites. And some people have picked you lot to win. Some people have. Bear in mind the injuries they have. Like John Stones and Kyle Walker did not participate in training today, so they could both be missing.
I can't lie. I think that's bullshit, bro.
I think John Stones. The rest of them did though. The likes of Haaland. Who else? I think it was Diaz, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne. All of them look trained.
Yeah.
Well, it should be no mind. You lot have the best defense in the league. Am I lying?
Listen, I just think with the crowd rocking at the Etihad, bro, it's different.
Yeah, all them 15 people. They got more charges than fans. No, let's not act like the Etihad's a hostile environment. Don't do that, Saad. Don't do that. This guy lying. Don't do that. Don't do that. This guy trying to gas it up. Like the Etihad's hostile.
Hey, well, why you said that so quick, bro?
Let's not do that.
Them 15 people, bro.
Them 15 people, let's not do that. The Etihad's a tough place to go. You know why? Because they have quality on the pitch. That's why.
Yeah, but I feel like they hype up the crowd. They hype up.
Yeah, it's easy to hype up the crowd when your team is that cold. When your team's that good, yes. When it's all that quality out there.
It's so difficult, man.
But you should be calm. Like I say, you lot got the best defense in the league. Am I lying?
We can have the best defense in the league, but listen, it's
so it
a
has
big
to stand up to
it's a big pressure moment.
It has to stand up to the best attack in the league.
This team for me has shown me one thing this season, yeah, which is they've been able to go against adversity, yeah. So, for instance, yeah, when we came up to the game against Liverpool, yeah.
Mhm.
Now the away game, I could understand that was a scrap because we're away at Anfield, bro. Away at Anfield is never easy, yeah.
Facts.
It's the crowd there is nuts. When it comes to them at home, obviously the FA Cup it went all tits up. I can't lie. I'll be realistic there. It went all tits up. We just couldn't hit a barn door to save our life.
Mhm.
How we played against them at home, Liverpool, I think
That was a
was
turn.
Arteta outclassing Klopp, who I rate highly as a manager. Like I rate him highly as a manager, and for him to outclass Klopp like that, I was like, you know what, this guy's
It was the
actually
start of the
growing.
thing. Yeah, man. It turned around. It was the start of you thinking about a new era. Correct?
Yeah,
I know.
no, but I think this season, even how we're looking, we because the new era for me, fuck it, let's just go back to calling them phases.
Oh, now you
There's
want to? All right, cool.
there's
Phases,
there's
era, whichever,
but
same difference.
whatever it is, the
Yeah.
rebuild, yeah. For me, there's the rebuild.
Mhm.
He's now built this team.
Facts. Spent
Now
what,
this
700
team
M's?
has to go. Actually 590, but
Is it
anyway,
590? You sure? All right, well, 600 M's then. We
it's
rounding
actually
it up.
590,
Well, we
600,
said
600.
yeah, 600
Let's round it
M's.
up. But anyway, yeah, listen, he's built this squad.
Mhm.
This team now has to go ahead. They have to start
Deliver.
showing, like they have to show. No, you have to get to a certain level because we have young players, and you and me both know, from watching, um your young players go through and actually manage to go and win a treble. Now I know it wasn't all young players. There were some real
Oh yeah, there was some real
old
seasoned,
heads,
world class
some
bad boy ballers in that
old
side.
heads
That's
in
a
there,
god
bro.
damn
There was some experienced players, but we need to find that perfect balance now with these young players, because players like Saliba, look at this guy, bro. He's such a fraud, bro. Look at this guy.
Who
I have to
is it?
address him, otherwise he gets in his feelings, bro.
Oh, yeah, he's always like a
I have
gal,
to.
man. He's
If
like a gal. He
if you
doesn't
don't address
address
him,
him. Yo,
he's
why
like,
do you
why
address
are you
me?
not speaking to me? Why
Why you not
not
speaking
paying
to me? Address it. It is, man. Such a gal. He's a gal, man. Like, why you not addressing me, yo?
Hey,
Why you don't say big up? It's like, yo,
big
this
up
guy,
to
man.
Saad,
Always needs
man.
validation, man.
Hey,
Always. Make sure you subscribe to that fraud's
man.
channel, though. All the
Yeah,
time.
subscribe to This Is Football, man. He just had a
Yeah.
bad stream with LB TJ yesterday. It was
Shout out
crazy.
my done
That was
TJ,
nuts,
man.
man. That was nuts. And he had a stream today, I believe, with Lee Gunner as well.
Oh,
And
yeah, that
Mo.
would have been fun. Yeah.
It
That
was.
would have been fire.
I just stepped in for a hot second. All I see is them pressing man about freaking, would you win the Champions League or the Premier League? And then bro, Mo on one side, Sam on the other, and I don't know what was going on, bro. So I was just like, whoa, let me just stay here for 5 minutes. Let me just see what's happening. But yeah, I think also, what was I gonna say, man? I don't even remember where we were. We were gonna say something.
Talking about your new era with that title. That's where we was at. And needing more seasoned players to come in now to the Arsenal squad.
Yeah. So you have our situation now, because this is, I like the way you flipped the whole switch, bro. I like the way you flipped it.
What did I flip? You accused me of drawing you in, flipping the switch. What now? Go on.
Because this was actually a Man United stream, and it's now flipped into talking about Arsenal.
Because we want to know your thoughts.
I actually like that.
Yeah, ask the people. Hey, people
right.
in the chat. I've never got a comment up. Are you not entertained? Guarantee you, they say yes.
Listen, we're entertained, bro. We're entertained right now.
Yeah, man. That's what it
100%.
is. Like, I wanted to know your thoughts. I didn't know exactly where you was at with, because it's been a few months since we last spoke. So I wanted to know your thoughts on where Arsenal are current. And now you're talking about errors and needing more seasoned pros and City. But
that's always gonna.
Yeah, I get that.
That's always gonna be a situation. That's always gonna be a situation for me. You're always gonna need experience in a team.
Yeah, facts.
You can never just win stuff with kids. That can't happen. So yeah, for me, listen, we need to just find the perfect balance. But I think this team can really hit heights, bro. We can really go out there. I feel like this team can possibly go and win the Champions League in some point in the future. I think this team can win the league, maybe a couple of times. I think how young they are and how they're showing. Actually, that's what I wanted to speak about. That's what I wanted to speak about quickly. The situation with Saliba this season in the Champions League, especially in that Porto game.
What, you don't think he's performed well?
No. In that Porto game, he showed nerves, bro.
Okay, because it's a new environment.
Yeah, I know, but that's a worrying thing for me because I need him to, like, in those big moments. It's a competition, bro. The Champions League is not. You don't have no second chances now. You're in the knockout stages. There's no second chances. Do you know what I mean? Yes, you have the where on both sides. The first game you play, that is your bread and butter, because the second tie is that's away on both legs. So best believe there's no second chance. But I can't have my players show too many nerves.
Yeah, they have to
when they're coming up against these players. You have to show that, like, listen, I'm here to fight. I'm here to.
But that's what you find out if players are on point and if players can be a part of the new era. That's what you find out in the chat. Like, you're gonna find out. Pressure bursts pipes or makes diamonds. You're gonna find out about these man at home to Bayern at the Emirates, away in the Allianz. If you get through and you play a Real Madrid, you're gonna find out about them in that second leg. Same way if you play City, you're gonna find in the running, away to Spurs, away to Brighton, home to Villa, away to Manchester United. We seen what happened last season. Now we're gonna see who's learned from it and who hasn't, who's good enough to be here. This is where major players now step up. March to May, this is it right now. April 100%. To May, I should say. We gonna step up and find out who is who.
No, 100%. I completely agree with you, because the pressure. I like that saying, bro. The pressure either bursts pipes or makes diamonds, bro.
Facts.
Because it's just that simple. And for me, I think I need to see from players what I've seen from Saka, which is, although he started the season with a certain situation where he wasn't playing aesthetically the best, on the eye he didn't look very good, but he was still efficient. He was still able to produce something, whether it be an assist, whether it be a goal. He's still able to provide something for the team. Do you know what I mean? I need players to be like that. Even if you're having a bad game, you're able to provide something to the team, whether it be a goal or assist, get involved somehow in the game. Even if you have a moment and that moment leads to a goal, you still done your job. For instance, Martin Odegaard, he doesn't necessarily have to get the assist, but just if he has one moment where it leads to a goal, that's important for me. You know what I mean? I can't. We're at a stage not only where we need world-class players, we have no space for.
There's no margin for error.
It's not even just no margin for error. I've got no room for people who aren't willing to carry their own carry their own weight, to do some of the heavy lifting, to help out with everything.
You can't hide.
You know what I mean?
There's no hiding.
There's no hiding now.
Zero
That's
hiding.
why now this transfer window, Cedric's out of here. That guy's way overdue, bro. Way overdue to get his ass out, bro. We don't even call him. I don't even call him Cedric. I call him 75K a week. That's what his name is for me, bro. Because that's all he is. 75K a week, coming out every single week out of the bank account of Arsenal Football Club, bro. Get that guy out of here. There's a few players we need to get rid of. Partey, surplus to requirements, man. His injury record is crazy, bro. It's crazy. But other than that, listen, I think right now my club is in a brilliant position.
Absolutely,
I'm sure you as a Man United fan are looking at it and you're like, bro, if we can do what Arsenal done, where they got themselves out of a shit spot and got themselves to a better position where they're actually able to compete and go and try and win these league titles.
Yeah,
bro.
We just have to do it faster and actually do it.
Well,
We gotta be faster and successful. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We gotta do it much quicker. I'm not waiting 3-4 years, and we have to win something. And in the meantime,
so
win
so
pick
you're
up domestic cups.
so wait. So are you saying when you go down this route of the whole process, as they
Yeah.
like to call it, you want it to be done quicker than how long it took Arteta,
Absolutely.
which is
You
4
can't be
years.
going. Yeah, it can't be 8th place, 2 8th place finishes, a 4th and a 2nd. With
So you want
just the
a
FA Cup
manager
at the
to come
start.
in.
Yeah, I'm saying even in between that, we can go and pick up domestic cups. FA Cup and League Cups are there. If we happen to be in the Europa League, win that too. The second season, I'm looking at like, all right, go and not win the league, but you can be built to challenge in 2 seasons.
Do you know?
You
Do
get
you know
2
why that
windows
makes?
right, you can challenge. Go on.
Do you know why that makes sense for you to say that?
Yeah, go on.
Because your whole point of view was, or your opinion was to bring in an experienced manager. So I would expect you to expect or to have those expectations because you want to bring in an experienced head. I think for us, the reason why we had to wait is because we brought a novice in. We brought a new manager, no experience in actually managing a club himself. Do you know what I mean? Yes, he sat next to Pep, but bro, there's a difference between sitting there next to Pep and focusing only on coaching sessions and all of that and doing coaching one-to-ones with a player when you're the gaffer. And everybody looks to you. Players are coming to you to talk. Young players are coming to you to ask, oh, do you know if I have any opportunity to get into the team? I want to get into the first 11. You have to maintain those relationships. Do you know what I mean?
No, facts, I hate you.
It's such a hard...
It's very tough. Like I said, it ties back into what we're saying about the job that the manager at your club, the manager at my club. You can put Liverpool in there, City in there, Chelsea in there. It's extremely tough. But like I'm expecting if my manager's not, I need to see significant improvement, and that's not necessarily win. Bear in mind when I said second season challenge for the league, I didn't say win. You know what I'm saying? Challenge. Let's not forget for a long time during last season, I think it was like February before we played Jula, before we played Palace, people were talking about United title charge. We was like I think we was like 4 points off the top or something like that, having played a game more. Or so. So if Ten Hag can get that close in one window with a terrible structure, what could a better manager do with 2 windows? You're not that far. Again, it's never as good as you think it is as a fan, and it's never as bad as it is. Manchester United are not. When people say, oh, you're 4, 5, 6 seasons away, rubbish. Adding the fact the quality of the league is not the best. You get 2 windows right with the correct manager, you can definitely challenge. 100%. Like you lot, I think with a better manager win the league last season. You had a better manager than Arteta, you win the league. 100%.
Actually, I think if Saliba didn't get the injury, but
I think a better manager deals with that.
I think also the manager made mistakes in playing Rob Holding for so long. When there was another option, you could have played Kivior. You could have played
like
2
other options. I think a better manager does that because managers have to deal with injuries in title runnings. It's very rare everyone's injury free.
No, I agree with you on that one. But listen, anyway, I think we'll wrap it up there because I do need to send these guys over to guys. Stick right here, bro, because we're gonna send you over to United Spurs of America.
Love that, man. Shout out Jacob, man.
My broski Jacob is there. He's doing
Jacob.
a stream, so I think he's doing a preview for Tottenham versus Luton. So make sure to get that done, guys. Make sure to go over there, smash a like button, just spam Saad raid, basically. Spam Saad and Flawless are gangsters. That's it. That's what you gotta spam. Just spam that over and over and over again. He'll get pissed off.
Shout out Jacob.
Listen, guys, in the description, all of his links. In the title, all of Flawless's links. So make sure to go and check Sarcasm City TV, Sarcasm City TV Gaming as well. Make sure to go and check that out. Make sure to go and give him a subscription if you haven't already. Listen, he's on the road. I think you're on the road to 11K now.
Yeah, 11K. We're closing in. Yeah, we're closing in on 11K already. Yeah.
And then gaming.
Gaming road to 1K. Sarcasm City TV gaming people road to 1K there.
Guys, Please, man. Honestly, the pro clubs content is crazy. Yeah, and just the content overall on his channel is mad. So make sure to go and show some love. Make sure to get that done for me, people. If it's the only thing you do today. Listen, guys, I have been Saad. He has been Flawless. We will catch you on the next one. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you on the next stream, my people. Love.
Big up.